Alrighty guys, welcome back to Star Wars Review. And so yesterday during the D23 Expo, there was a panel for Lucasfilm, Marvel and whatnot also. But some trailers were released online for Star Wars stuff. So I'm going to talk about one of those, which is the Mandalorian Season 3 teaser trailer, which like I said, was released online. It was released back during Star Wars Celebration, which there was leaked footage of the trailer shown there, and this pretty much seemed like to have all the same footage. There was some footage missing from those Celebration trailers though, so yeah, but I'm just going to dive into a breakdown of it, which it starts with a dialogue from the armor, I guess talking to Din about Grogu, about how Din saved him, then now Din is Grogu's father, and a clan of two, but Din removed his helmet, so he is no longer a Mandalorian. Similar dialogue to what we've got from the armor in the Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett and whatnot. But during that dialogue, we got a bunch of shots. First, we see Din in the Naboo N1 starfighter landing on Navarro, which is even bigger and better looking now. We get a shot of Grogu kind of like coming out of a ship. At first, I didn't even think about it. I'm like, oh, okay, that's normal because of the Razor Crest. But the Razor Crest isn't there anymore. But I looked at it more, and there's a Mandalorian following Grogu, and I think it's Bo-Katan. And it's more feminine looking, Mandalorian, so I'm assuming it's Bo-Katan. But, yeah. Anyways, we then get a shot of Din and Grogu kind of walking around in this cave. Maybe the caves of Mandalore, which in the Book of Boba Fett, that's where the armor has sent Din to redeem himself for removing his helmet. But then there's a shot of this like ship flying in the sky, and there's like very cloudy, stormy weather. You can barely make out the ship. It doesn't look like the N1 starfighter. I was thinking maybe a Mandalorian starfighter, which is what I'm gonna guess it is. But it is kind of hard to make out what it is. But then we get a shot of Din and Grogu walking on the surface of a planet, which has like a lot of rocks and whatnot. I think this might also be Mandalore. I'm not fully sure. Then there's more shots of them in the cave. And then finally the shot of the armor, who's, talking to Din. Looks like she's making something in her cauldron thingy. But the shot then of her talking, and then a shot of Din kind of listening to her. But then we get some shots of the N1 starfighter and some dog fights in space. There's several of the same ships firing at the N1 starfighter. I'm not really sure what the ships are. So yeah, but then we get shots of Bo-Katan, in her like mini palace. She's kind of watching a ship in the sky. Once again, not sure, what that ship is, if it's that Mandalorian starfighter we saw earlier, or the Din's N1 starfighter, or a completely different ship. I'm not sure. But we get dialogue from Bo-Katan saying, your cult fractured our people, which during that dialogue with several shots of Din, with other Mandalorians, one's looking like the ones from, Din's Mandalorian tribe we saw in Season 1. We even see Paz Vizsla also. But we get a shot of Din meeting Greef Karga on Navarro also, which, once again, looking even better than before. And Greef also has a new outfit. But then a shot of Din in the N1 starfighter attacking this big ship. Once again, not really sure what that is, but the front of it has like a little hook. Also, I went back and watched the teaser again after I was mainly looking at that ship, but in the N1 starfighter, Din actually has a droid in it. I think it's R4. It looks like R4, so I'm assuming it is. So that's interesting. But then we get a shot of a Mandalorian starfighter. This shot, it definitely looks like one flying in the clouds over what looks to me Mandalore in the ruins of one of the dome cities. I would assume it's the capital Sundari. But then we see Din walking up to Bo in her palace, which Bo continues the dialogue from what she was saying earlier. by saying, where were you then? Talking about, because she says your cult fracture people and whatnot. Which, Din doesn't respond to him. We kind of get the shot of Din listening to it in the mini palace. But then we get a shot of some Mandalorians in like this dropship thingy. They're dropping out over top of what looks to be Navarro, which is kind of, up in smoke. So I'm not sure what's going on there. But then we get a scene between Bo and Grogu, which she says to him, "Did you think your dad was the only Mandalorian?" And they're kind of like in that cave area also. But then we get more shots of those Mandalorians on Navarro. It seems like they're maybe defending, because we see them fighting some aliens, which I'll get into that more later. But then we get some shots of some quacky monkey lizards, just in a tree on Navarro, which I thought was, great seeing that, because I believe it's in the first episode of the series. You see them locked up in cages, and I think even getting cooked to eat. So they were in being treated poorly on Navarro. Now they're just there in a tree. So that was nice to see. But then we get a quick shot of Dr. Pershing and that Imperial officer lady from season 2 walking in what looks to be a New Republic base. And it seems like they're free. So I wonder, what they're doing there. The celebration trailers have more of that. And I believe the celebration trailers also showed Carson Teva also. But then we get a shot of Greef confronting those aliens on Navarro. So it definitely seems like, these aliens are maybe causing some trouble. And Din enlists the help of some Mandalorians to help the city out. But then there's some more dogfighting, space shots of the N1 starfighter fighting ships in this like asteroid field and whatnot. But then we see Din back on Tatooine meeting up with Pelimoto once again with R4. Seems like, like I said earlier, it seems like R4 is actually in the N1 starfighter, so definitely interested in what's going on there. But then we get a shot of an Anzellan. The only other known Anzellan in live action was Babu Frick. I don't know if it's Babu Frick or not. I'm probably not, but this Anzellan is kind of working on something. I kind of think it might be IG-11 because the kind of shape of it, this looks like IG-11, and the color is like the grayish color IG-11 is. But I'm not fully sure there. But then we get a shot of the N1 starfighter flying over this city, bigger city, not a huge city. But there's like fireworks going off and whatnot, and we see Grogu in the ship, watching them. Which the teaser ends with Din telling Grogu to hold on, and if he's ready for an adventure, which they go into hyperspace, and the final shot is them just sitting in the cockpit in hyperspace, just chilling there. I thought that was a cute end to the teaser. So yeah, but it was a solid teaser. Revealed a little, but not a whole lot. Obviously, it definitely seems like Din will be heading to Mandalore to redeem himself in the eyes of the Armorer. But he, does meet up with Bo-Katan, who definitely seems to be a much bigger character in this season, and maybe a kind of antagonist for Din, or not fully sure there yet, because obviously she wants to be the ruler of Mandalore. And because Din won the Darksaber, he has that right, which, so far it doesn't seem like that's what Din wants to be, but, he is the main hero of the show, and it makes sense for him to become the leader of Mandalore, because, sometimes the best leaders are the ones who, maybe didn't fully want it. So yeah, but I'm also, back to the armor, I'm definitely interested to see where everything goes with that, because, obviously, the Armorer is a leader of a cult, which, Din is a part of, and Din is going back to the cult, trying to redeem himself in the eyes of the cult. So, interested to see where that goes, and if Din can figure out there's more to being a Mandalorian than, the way the Armorer, has. So, yeah, but, other than that, obviously, seems like Din will head back to Navarro and help out Greef there, probably for an episode. Then we'll head back to Tatooine, probably meet up with Boba Fett, and also there's definitely looks like to be a lot more space fights, which is definitely exciting, as season 1 and season 2 had a little but not a whole lot, and with the N1 Starfighter being a smaller ship and more about that, definitely makes sense to have more space fighting scenes. But excited for season 3. The teaser said 2023 release date. Back at Celebration, I think they said February, but all the other release dates they mentioned in at Celebration has changed. Andor was August 31st, and that's September 21st. Bad Batch Season 2 was 2022, and now that's January 2023. So there's definitely been some release date changes, and if Mandalorian Season 3 starts in February, it'll be airing during the Bad Batch Season 2, which I think will go till probably April. Or the Bad Batch Season 2 will probably go to April, and if Mandalorian Season 3 starts in February, it'll probably also go to April. And we'll just have to wait and see. Obviously, I'm patient enough to wait. If the Mandalorian Season 3 gets pushed to maybe April start date, at least Bad Batch Season 2 will be there, so it'll be fine. And we got Andor until November. There'll just be a gap of December with nothing, and that's nothing. Only a month of no Star Wars, big scale content, so we've waited longer. But there were other trailers released during D23, a trailer for Tales of the Jedi, the upcoming animated anthology series, and a final trailer for Andor, which I'll be doing breakdowns of both of those also. I don't know if later today or tomorrow or sometime soon. I'll definitely get them out next either day or the next few days, but you can check those out then. But in the meantime, you can check out all my other trailer reactions, all my Mandalorian stuff, and everything else I do. But I've been Star Wars, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Removed your helmet. Then you are a Mandalorian no more.